Yeah, good morning, everyone. Uh, though the Friday we saw some corrections in the US market, but today morning futures are quite positive, and even the Asian markets are also positive. The equity markets positiveness is driven by mainly what we had seen that there is a increasing talk of infrastructure infrastructure investment in the US is likely to get approved in Senate in this week, and the investment on infrastructure project will be over 500 billions. So in that sentiment, we are seeing US market positive, and even the Asian markets are also getting some clue from that. And in expectation of increasing investments, the bond yields are also coming off, as such supporting the tech stock. But on the other hand, commodity, specifically steel, had seen today morning very sharp decline in China. It's down by over 5%, mainly on account of some comment from Chinese Iron and Steel Association, which said that the production in China of the steel is coming down. And in the first 10 days of July, it was down by around 5.6%. In first half, the steel production was up by around 12%, which was very high as compared to China expectation of declining its production on environmental concern. But now association has said that this is coming down. And one more important comment what they had made is that the demand is also likely to come down in second half of the year in China. So that has put pressure on steel prices. In last week, what we had seen that the steel prices were remaining high, whereas the iron ore prices was coming down in expectation of that the demand for iron ore will be lower. Today, steel prices has followed the iron ore and come down by around 5.6% around, and also iron ore is down by around 1.5%. So some negativeness in China, whether this will have any major impact on steel companies outside China, maybe sentimentally today, but overall, if we see the impact should not be there because the export from China to other nations will reduce, and that will keep the prices of steel high only and not likely to come down very substantially. Uh, but the only concern is that if the demand in China itself come down, then that will create some concerns. So we'll observe the situation. Yeah, for short term, it may have some negative impact. Uh, so now I'll request technical team to take up from here.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Good morning, all of you. Last week we see some sideways moment and maybe see some profit booking. This week we also see the sideways moment and remain a range during the this week, and we expect upside immediate resistance towards 15,900 and downside 15,670 600 at downside. Today we open a gap up, but we remain sideways after gap up because next important resistance for Nifty 15,840 and 870. If Nifty clear this resistance, then we expect further momentum towards 15,920 and 16,000 and upper side. But we see some upside resistance for after gap up opening. So we can wait for after Nifty sustain 840 level, 15,840 level after gap. Then we see some further momentum. Otherwise, Nifty trading in sideways zone. Bank Nifty trading below the important resistance support zone, and also trading below the 50 DMA. So we see the sideways momentum in Bank Nifty. I'm not positive for Bank Nifty for this week. But if Bank Nifty break 34, 970, 35,000 and above on closing basis, then we see some further momentum in Bank Nifty. Otherwise, Bank Nifty remain sideways, maybe see some profit booking in Bank Nifty. Downside important support zone for Bank Nifty 34,500 to 34,300. If break that level, then we see some further selling pressure for Bank Nifty. Nifty Finance also trading important support zone below, that is 16,660, 670 level, and trading below that important support zone. So we expect a gap of open and above this level, then we see some further momentum towards 16,720, 16,800 in upside. Downside, important support zone place at 16,550 and 500 at downside. To keep watch these three index, stock specific Deepak Nitrite or trading in positive territory, we expect further momentum towards 20 to 2300 in upside. Today, Loris Lab looks positive. We already see Friday volume breakout plus oversold zone bounce back. We can see the Friday's moment. Do we expect further momentum towards 720, 740 for this coming week? And downside 620, 610 for important support zone for this. So we can see the further momentum in Loris Lab for this week. That is for technical. Derivative guy can carry.
Yeah, thank you, Vikas. See, on the derivative front, there are a couple of things. The 15,800, the call now holds the second highest open interest amongst calls. This is significant because even when Nifty was in range of about 15,600, and it is in the range of 15,600, 15,900 odd, we've never seen 15,800 call having subsequent considerable amount of open interest. But it is now has a good amount of built up along with the 15,900 and 16,000 calls. So that does mean strong resistance on the upside. Even though we are opening up, there are chances if we go below the 15,800 levels, there can be some selling pressure which can come in. Also, the 15,500 put doesn't have that much open interest. It does have open interest, good amount, but not as much as the 15,800, 900, and 16,000 calls. So that can probably indicate that going forward, maybe the 15,500 put might be tested, in the next couple of days or something. So be ready for that. The other indicators are flat. VIX continues to be around the 13 levels. PCROI is at comfortable levels, and open interest as well as we've just seen expiry. It is at comfortable levels. So not much there. Just we need to watch out for the open interest for Nifty for a couple of days. From the stock specific front, SRF continues to witness good price and open interest increase. It is likely to move up. Sun Pharma has seen good long built up of OI. It is likely to move up as well. And pharma as a whole looks to have bottomed out. So one should look to buy pharma at this point of time. Also from the expiry, the PSUs look very good. So the PSU stock should be bought. That's it from my side. I'd like to ask the fundamental team to continue.
Good morning. A few auto numbers have come for the month of July over the weekend. Tata Motors posted inline numbers. Commercial vehicles grew by 80% and passenger vehicles by 100% on a year-on-year basis. Even month-on-month basis, there was around a 15% kind of increase in both the segments. Hero MotoCorp, Eicher Motors, more so Royal Enfield, as well as Escorts. All the three companies posted below estimate numbers, and in fact, Hero posted a 13% decline on a low base of last year. So that is kind of negative and might be indicating that rural is under some stress. Rest of the auto companies will be posting numbers today. So out of that, we are expecting a good growth in Ashok Leyland on year-on-year basis of almost 100%. Maruti should then grow at around 48-50%, and Mahindra also around 30% growth. In two-wheelers, Bajaj should outperform. Growth should be at 48%. and for TVS at around 13%. Shriram Transport Finance result has improved. Out of all auto financing companies, we have seen that M&M Finance witnessed the worst asset quality. Then even Chola witnessed some worsening in NPAs, but Shriram has witnessed the lowest stress buildup. Net NPA of 4.7% and restructured book is almost zero. So we can say that no, the worst is behind, and company also holds a contingent provision of 2.4%. So going forward, credit cost will be on the lower side. Expect stock to move in the short term. However, from a long-term perspective, one has to keep in mind that maybe a year or so down the line, there would be a merger with Shriram City Union Finance. So the relative attractiveness of the auto financing business will diminish. So from short term, it's fine. Bandhan Bank result was in line with estimates. Although on asset quality front, gross NPA and restructured loans have almost double on QOQ basis from 7% to 14%. Now, if we add even the stressed loans, then the total vulnerable portfolio is at almost 28%. So we would recommend to avoid the stock. Cholamandalam result was below expectation. Uh, Gross NPA increased from 4% to 6.8%. Net NPA almost doubled from 2 to 4%. So in last many years, we have not seen this kind of net NPA in Chola. So expect FY22 credit cost to remain high, and in short term, stock might remain range bound, or in fact, most likely lower also, because stock had run up quite a lot in last 1 year. IDFC First Bank result is below expectation. There was one legacy toll road project which slipped into gross NPA and resulted in higher credit cost. Also, PCR is low at just 51%. So along with that, restructured book is also at 2%. So expect the credit cost to remain at higher levels in next 3-4 quarters. We are neutral over here. Equitas Small Finance Bank result was okay. Slippages have increased to 8% for the quarter versus 3.3% for the full of last year. Collection efficiency is also on lower side at 70%, but this was kind of expected because of the subprime nature of lending that these kind of people do. With all states opening up in July, expect some recovery over here, but overall we are neutral over here. BHEL result continues to remain weak. In fact, even on industrial segment, which is supposed to be the future growth driver, even that has witnessed year-on-year decline. Company posted a loss at EBITDA level. So we maintain that one should avoid this stock. That's it from my side.
Good morning, everyone. Sun Pharma came out with the results, and results were above expectation. It came during the market hours, and we had already seen the reaction on the stock, and we believe it likely to continue because even the commentary in the con call was positive. Uh, PI Industries came out with results, and results were marginally below expectation. However, during the weekend, the company has announced an acquisition of InSwift Laboratories for their API manufacturing. So that is done at 1.8 sales, which is not very expensive and looks fair. So this is positive for PI Industries because it supplements their R&D business. Now they would have a manufacturing base also. We will get more details during the today's con call. Vinati Organics announced the results, and results were below expectations. So, the main disappointment came from the margins, which came at 26% versus expectation of 34%. Last year it was 42%, and stock is anyways trading very high at 58 times. TGV SRACC announced their results, and results have improved. Unichem Laboratories announced their results, and results were declining. Gujarat Ambuja Exports announced their results, and results have improved. The margins came at 16% versus last year 9%. Finolex Industries announced the results, and results were below expectations. Uh, Britannia Industries announced the results, and results were marginally below expectation uh, due to the gross margins decline Q on Q. However, the key thing to watch here is the volume growth, which came at 1% improvement against the 8 to 9% decline of the street consensus estimates. So this is, we believe, should do well and augur well for this company in today's trade. UPL announced their results and results were below expectations, with EBITDA margins came at 20% versus expectation of 22.6. However, the commentary during the con call was positive, and they have taken the price increase and been taking the price increase to combat this cost increases, and they have also maintained their revenue growth of 7 to 10% and EBITDA growth of 12 to 15%. Marico announced their results, and results were broadly in line with the expectations. Kansai Nerolac announced the results, and results are above expectation, like we've seen in the case of Asian Paints also, where the results were very good. Asahi India Glass announced the results, and results have declined. Vegan announced the results, and results were below expectations. Dr. Lal announced the results, and results were above expectation. This also came during the market hours, and initially the stock moved higher because the results were really good. However, later the stock came down also because it was revealed during their press release that the major whatever the increment in business has come due to the COVID portfolio, which we believe is not sustainable, and the non-COVID portfolio remained flat. So that is why the negative reaction came on the Dr. Lal on the same day. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Nazara Technologies has posted improved set of numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Share is trading at 272 times TTM EPS. And IIT Limited has posted improved numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Share is trading at 25.2 times FY22 EPS. Gokaldas Exports has posted decline set of numbers both on the revenue and the margin front. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. Jindal SAW Limited posted a declining result. Volume came at 0.62 million ton versus 0.74 million ton quarter on quarter. Realization per ton came at 38,740 crores versus 42,880 crores quarter on quarter. EBITDA per ton came at 5,682 crores versus 5,295 crores quarter on quarter. The share is trading at EV by EBITDA of 5.12 times FY23 EBITDA. Sharda Energy and Minerals posted improved set of numbers. EBITDA grew by 47% quarter on quarter at 272 crores. Margins came at 33% versus 26% quarter on quarter. Then HIL Limited posted improved set of numbers. Revenue came at 984 crores versus 844 crores quarter on quarter. EBITDA grew by 45% at 162 crores. Margins came at 16.5% versus 13% quarter on quarter. The share is trading at EV by EBITDA of 11.34 times FY23 EBITDA. Thank you.
Yeah, so a few stocks to keep watch in this quarterly results of Friday, Saturday. What we feel say that Shriram Transport, PI Industry and Laurus Lab, these stocks can open higher and can still do better during the day as well. So Shriram Transport, PI Industry and Laurus Lab. Apart from that, now the results for 4th August, we have Apollo Tyre results on that day. Results are expected to be more in line with what has come in the C8 results. That is decline in EBITDA margin because of raw material price increase, inflations. Raw material prices increased by around 12% in Q1 as against previous quarter. So that will have an impact and company was not able to pass it on to the customers. So EBITDA margin is likely to decline by around 300 basis points and sales also quarter on quarter declined by 13%. So result will be declining. And Adani Total Gas is likely to report numbers as such, we had seen some corrections in the Adani Gas total prices, but still the stock is trading very high at almost around over 100 P. So need to be watchful for that. Then Blue Star is likely to announce result here. This is generally a key season for them this quarter, and they lost it, and last year also they lost it. So last 2 years they are suffering on that account. Result is likely to show declining trend and uh, as compared to last year, though it is showing very high numbers, but if we compare it with 2 year previous numbers, that is June 19, then sales are down by around uh, 29% from whatever they achieved in June 29, and even the margins will be lower than the June 29 numbers. So results will be declining. Then Bosch Limited is likely to announce some numbers, and here again margins are likely to show substantial decline. Last quarter reported margin was 19.2, but there was some exceptional, so actual margin was around 14.5%. From there, it is likely to decline to below 10%, and sales is also likely to decline by around 31%. So the impact of shortage of semiconductor will be felt a lot in Bosch results. So result is likely to be declining. Godrej consumer product is likely to show numbers, and result is likely to show improvement. Sales are likely to up by around 20% year on year, and margin is likely to sustain. Share is trading at around 46 time FY23 earning, which is more of a fair value that already reached. Then HPCL is likely to announce result. We had seen that the IOC has come up with good numbers, and similar trend can be visible in HPCL as well. So seems more of on a positive side. Then Sri Kalahasti Pipe is likely to report number. We had seen that DI pipe margins has come under pressure in this quarter. So result, the same thing can happen in Sri Kalahasti Pipe result also. Then the result can be declining. Then Titan is likely to show numbers, and numbers are likely to be declining, as we had seen that the sales got impacted because of the lockdown, and sales are likely to show decline of over 60% quarter on quarter. And if we compare it with the last 2 year number, then also the sales are likely to decline by around 44% year on year as compared to June 19. And EBITDA margin is also likely to show substantial decline. The normalized margin is at around 11%, and here the expectation is only just 1%. Company may report loss. Chambal Fertilizer is likely to show numbers, and numbers are likely to be more of a stable. Year on year revenues are likely to be more of a flattish, and margin is also might see some marginal decline. So more of a result flattish. Cosmos Film is likely to report number. HDPE film result for the SRF was stable. So more of a Cosmos Film result should also be more of a stable. Then HG Infra is likely to report number. Here the margins are likely to show some decline quarter on quarter and year on year. And revenue is year on year is likely to show substantial increase. So result is more of a like a stable numbers. Q1 is generally a soft quarter for infra company. Solara Active is likely to report number. Here the numbers are likely to show improvement. Quarter on quarter revenue is likely to increase by around 13%, and margin is likely to expand by around 200 basis points. So the result is likely to show some improvement. Tata Communication is likely to report number on that day, and the result is likely to be more of a flattish. Quarter on quarter margins is more of a like a flat, and even the revenue quarter on quarter is also likely to be flat. Then Tata Steel BSL is likely to report number. Most of the steel company has reported good numbers, so similar trend can be seen in Tata Steel BSL. And State Bank of India is likely to report number. Here we may see some some pressure on the asset quality. Credit cost is likely to increase in this quarter, and even slippage is also expected to be higher at around 9,000 crores. So overall, result may be seeing some asset quality concerns and maybe declining. So that's all from us. Thank you very much and have a good day.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.